Welcome on in, guys. Three bold takes, and we are back with Bowl Mania this year. We do this every single year. Link is in the description to join. Winner will receive a free Champions Three Bold Takes t-shirt courtesy of the guys over here at Three Bold Takes. But before we get into it, we are sponsored by SeatGeek, so use our discount code 3BoldTakes at checkout to get $20 off your first purchase. We are looking to go to a couple of bowl games. We will definitely be using SeatGeeks. You guys should too. It'll show you what's a good deal, what's a bad deal, and should save you a little bit of money off the top. Guys, welcome on in to the preview and prediction for Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Love the name of this bowl game. We've got Louisville, we've got Washington, and this is another edition of our quest to predict every single bowl game through Capital One Bowl Mania beginning to end. And this video is going to be pretty good because we got a team from the ACC who, oh, by the way, at the time of recording, Saturday, December 27th, is 0-6 in bowl games. You heard it right, 0-6. Chase, let's go to you first. Louisville and Washington, 86% of the world has picked Louisville to win, and they come in as a 2.5-point favorite against Washington.
Man, this is a real sneaky game. Louisville has kind of flown under the radar of the ACC. They went to the ACC championship a year ago. SMU kind of took over the ACC world with Miami tucked in there as well. And then Louisville just kind of slides into an 8-4 record, a really good season overall. Took Miami, put them on the ropes a little bit, puts SMU on the ropes a little bit, beat Clemson, and then absolutely dominated the SEC to finish off the year in Lexington. So that's just huge. Louisville's had a great second. I thought they'd have a huge sophomore slump after their big ACC championship run, but they've come in with an 8-4 record. Washington, on the other hand, you knew it was going to happen. You knew DeBoer left. Some things were going to have to change. Will Rogers was decent, but of course, Will Rogers is no Michael Penix and no DeBoer offense. So Jed Fish did decent in this first year, but you knew this was going to happen. Me personally, I'm going to go Louisville. I think Louisville's going to throw the ball all over the field on these guys. I think they do an extremely good job of mixing up their play calling. And Washington, they like to stay around in games, and that's the biggest thing for this one. If they linger in this game, there's a great chance Washington can pull it out. They've done it several times this year, but I do think Louisville's going to pull out and eventually win by double digits.
Yeah, I want to start with Washington getting bowl eligible this year is a huge win for them. I did not expect bowl eligibility out of Washington with the roster turnover, the coaching staff turnover, and moving to a significantly more competitive conference all in one season or one off season. Was not expecting a whole lot from Washington going into this year. So the fact they've reached bowl eligibility is a huge win for them. But this is where my praise for Washington stops, and I go into why I'm picking Louisville to win this game. And it's simply that I think Jeff Brom's turning Louisville into a serious competitor in the ACC for the long term. I think every year we're going to be having a discussion about Louisville finishing in the top 4 of the conference every single season as long as Brom is there. Now, we can talk about how much of an achievement it really is to finish as a consistent top 4 team in the ACC, not a very deep conference. But for a school like Louisville, who was a G5 school not too long ago, like not even just a little over a decade ago. Yep. They were hanging out in the G5, and to be to the point where they're going to probably be one of the main powers of the Atlantic Coast Conference, that's a huge step for them. And I think this is just going to go a little bit further. They kind of fell on their face last year when they had to go to the Holiday Bowl against USC. They got embarrassed. I think a lot of that comes with letdown from losing to Florida State in the ACC title game and missing out on the playoffs, or potentially the playoffs. So give me Louisville to get the win here. I think they win probably by about a touchdown to 10 points. And I think Jeff Brom's going to continue to build a juggernaut up in Kentucky to compete in the ACC and probably see them in the playoffs within the next 3 or 4 years.
And Freddie, before you go, Quinn just mentioned top 4 in the ACC. I feel a remnants of maybe an Iowa Hawkeye team in the ACC. This could be Louisville. That's the first thing that came to mind. Freddie?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I'm going Louisville here too. Shout out Washington for making a bowl game. Quinn, you already mentioned it, but wow. Was not expecting that. I think all three of us actually preseason predicted they would not make a bowl game. So for them to come in and do that says a lot about the coaching staff, the culture that they're going to continue to build up at Washington. I just think Louisville's a better team, plain and simple here. Louisville was 1 or 2 steps away from competing it for the ACC championship again this year. That loss to Stanford really looms large in the grand scheme of things when you look at this year so far. I mean, they could be sitting at 9-3, 38-35. You did have to travel to Stanford, so that's a long way to go for Louisville. So maybe there's a little excuse there. But I just think overall Louisville's a better football team. They're in a better place as a program. And I think this is going to continue to be a building point for them moving forward as well to get it done here in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Guys, thanks for watching. It's been another preview and prediction for another bowl game. I'm Freddie, joined by Chase and Quinn. We'll see you guys in the next one, and there will be a next one and a next one.